YouTube? LJ Draco here. Yes, I am doing another, technically 2 videos, 3 films in one film in another, 3D Blu-ray reviews. So, as you can tell by the title which one this is, I'll just quickly show you this t-shirt. Now, here's a kind of funny story about this. This is an It t-shirt, as you can see. Get the camera angle back there. Yeah. So the reason I'm wearing this is because me and Alice, we actually have a deal, an arrangement going on. I think she showed in one of her videos the It t-shirt that I picked up recently. And because we were going to do a trade, because she liked that one and I was originally a fan of this one. But then we couldn't decide on who should have which one because we ended up both liking both. So we have an arrangement that whoever isn't wearing this one gets to wear the other one. Whoever isn't wearing the other one gets to wear that. So it's kind of a weird arrangement. But we're sharing the It t-shirts. It's kind of a weird arrangement, but we enjoy that. Instead of us losing out on one that we might like, we get to share both. Right, so this video is about, as you can tell in the title, all 3 Captain America movies. So let's start off with Captain America, the First Avenger. As you guys know, I don't talk that much about the story. I say this in every 3D Blu-ray review video. I'll just tell you that this is my favourite Captain America story told in the MCU so far. I think, well, obviously it's his origin, but it's not just that. It's just, it makes you realise in future films, I start really hating Captain America. Whereas this film, actually, I enjoy him quite a lot. I think he's a good character in this. So, story-wise, it's not great. But it's good and it's enjoyable, so I do give it a 4.5 out of 5 for the 2D and the film. 3D, however, this is letterbox, but it's not as good as future MCU 3D films. It's kind of a 60-40 ratio of pop out and in depth, so 40% pop, 60% depth. In which case, it also gets a 4.5 out of 5, the 3D for me. Just because it's still enjoyable, it's still watchable, it's just, I don't really want to go back and watch the 3D version that often. Still is my favourite Captain America movie out of the 3, so that's something. Next up is Winter Soldier. So, as anyone who knows me and that knows about like what I feel about Marvel films, Winter Soldier is my least favourite MCU movie. I feel like, for me personally, I think it's the weakest. Well, okay, I tell a lie on that. I'm not including Thor 2 or Iron Man 3. I'm not including those. Like those 2 can be pushed aside for now. But out of the better and good Marvel movies, I still think this should be alongside those 2. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the way it was done. And I know why people mostly like this, because it's kind of the MCU definition version of Die Hard in some way. I mean, I'm probably going to get comments going, you can't really compare the 2. I can compare whatever I like to compare it to. Whatever I think a movie is like, which I've said this before, well, actually, I compared this to Demolition Man, actually. I should say that one more. It is more like Demolition Man. You know, and that's why I don't like this, because I enjoy Demolition Man. So, me and this guy called Martin, I'll put his channel link in the description below, and Sexy Monkey, I'll put his channel link in the description below. We talked about this film, and when I compared it to Demolition Man, and Martin was actually saying how it's so slightly similar until he realised all the comparisons, and then he got so pissed off with me that I made him realise this is pretty much exactly like Demolition Man. But it's not just that. I just thought that Chris Evans' acting in this wasn't the best. I think the story was a bit meh. And I wasn't invested in it. Maybe if I watch it again, I may like it. But from what I've seen of it already, the film's going to get a 3 out of 5 for me. I can watch it when I'm watching all the Marvel films, but it's just not the most enjoyable. 3D wise, it gets the same as First Avenger. It's 60-40 depth and pop out, so I think it'll get a 3.5 out of 5. So, yeah. And then last up we have Captain America Civil War. This is definitely a better sequel to First Avenger. I like Captain America in this again. I'm upset that he should have ended in this one, and he shouldn't have continued on. But I do think this is definitely the better sequel. I enjoyed him again. I thought his purpose made sense. And I love the whole story between him and Tony. Brilliant chemistry. Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans have great chemistry together, and I love it. But it's also just one of the most funner versions of the movies involving both characters. So, I mean, story-wise, I definitely give this a 4.5 out of 5 because it does also have its faults, but it's definitely enjoyable. 3D, even though it's letterboxed with one IMAX scene, it does use 50-50 depth and pop-out, which means it gets an instant 5 out of 5 for me. So definitely recommend this one because 50-50 depth and pop-out and a great story to watch again. It's definitely one that I recommend. So that is the Captain America movies. Well, that is the end of this video too. If you enjoyed this video and previous videos, don't forget to strike the like for future videos. And if you're new to my channel and only to look up my videos, click the subscribe button down below. I surely appreciate it. Anyway, take care, you wonderful, wonderful people. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.